Introducing ancient art. Paleolithic hunters and gatherers are interested in documenting the world around them and making things beautiful 40,000 years ago. Neolithic, New Stone Age people started domesticating plants and animals, and communities started to grow, and they started thinking about building things like this Stonehenge, which we know where the stones come from, but how? How did they get them there? We're still discovering more and more new information about this old 5,000-year-old monument. Mesopotamia is the cradle of civilization. There are rivers that are to blame. There's the Euphrates and the Tigris rivers that run through Iraq. This is where everything begins. Language, writing, social organizations. Because of these rivers, they're able to grow things, and instead of going out and having to hunt and gather food, they can actually predict that they're going to be able to plant seeds and have things grow because of those rivers. So we start to see civilization, we start to see government and science and laws all in this area of the world, Mesopotamia. Sumerians were building these huge ziggurats, and at the top, at the very top, and a little tower at the top, they would put these little figures who were standing in for them. Their eyes are wide open, waiting for the gods. The Akkadian civilization in Mesopotamia was warring civilization. We see this reflected in the art and the stone carvings that they left behind. Beautiful, but pretty horrific. Babylonia left behind this document, this stele, this large stone that shows the sun god handing the king, King Hammurabi, the scepter, telling King Hammurabi, yes, you can rule over people. And down below in cuneiform are over 300 laws. So we see the beginning of civilization, of law, of people gathering together in big enough bunches that you need kings to sort of tell you what to do. And of course, what river is bigger than the Nile? Egypt had the Nile River, and it was very, very, very interested in things staying the same for thousands of years. Maybe it was the Nile and the consistency of the flooding and the ebbing of the floods and their ability to grow food that made the Egyptians so interested in keeping things around for thousands of years. They were interested in that. They're also interested in what happens after we die, and the sense of permanence we see in their art everywhere. The wall decorations have grids on them so that they can be consistent about the sizes and proportions of the figures. And also there was a convention on how you were supposed to draw people so that you could get the most information possible. Sculpture also had this idea of permanence. Do you see how it's so blocky in that sculpture there of Khafre? He doesn't have any limbs that could break or fall away, and it's carved out of this really, really hard stone called diorite. What could be more permanent than the pyramids, right? This is the old kingdom of ancient Egypt. For one little tiny period during the New Kingdom, there were changes that happened in the art world and in the world in general. There is this Amarna revolution. The king, which we see depicted in this little small relief down below, he's interested in a single sun god, and he changes everything, and all of a sudden we see curvy bodies. We see this is his Queen Nefertiti, and we see a shift, but it's just a little brief blip if we consider the whole 3,000 years of ancient Egypt. So find out more in